Hey everyone, welcome back to the vlog. This is Doshi and this is vlog number 4, and we'll be playing at the Gardens Casino. It's like my go-to location for games because they have a good amount of games going almost every day. Minimum of probably 6 games of 5-5 and about 2 games of the 5-5-10. In this session, we'll be playing the 5-5-10, and again, this is a game that has bomb pots on every dealer change, deck change, and also a new player that sits down. So it's a pretty good action game, and in this session we pick up some hands, make some good moves, and get lucky a couple of times. But yeah, it's a pretty good session. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It really helps out the channel, and it helps it grow. Also, guys, don't forget I do have mini vlogs, and these mini vlogs are because like there are sessions that I a lot of like maybe a lot of hands were not involved, and I just pick like probably the top 3 that I want to showcase for the mini vlog. It's pretty quick for me to output them for you guys for content, and it's pretty convenient. I might just stick to that because it's straight to the point and it gives you the hands, it gives you the results, and I play a lot of sessions, so I don't sometimes have time to make a full vlog because full vlogs take close to 8 to 10 hours to edit. And this one unfortunately took a little while because, to be fairly honest, guys, I have 2 kids, and fortunately one of them got sick and the other one gets sick. You guys might already know that because if you have kids, that is, it's not the best timing. So this one took a little bit too long to edit, and which is why I kind of like the mini vlogs because I do a session and the next day takes me about 3 hours to edit and pop out. So I'm hoping to do more of that and maybe less of the long vlogs. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, again, subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys at the end. Enjoy the vlog. We sit down at the 5-5-10 game at the Gardens, where every new player and every dealer change they play a bomb pot. Since I'm a new player, my first hand is a bomb pot of 6-3 offsuit. It's 7 players and there's $135 in the pot, and the flop is Jack 4 5. It gets checked around to the button that makes a small bet of $25. The small blind calls, I call, and the other gun calls as well. We go to a turn, which is a 10 of clubs. Again, it gets checked around to the button, who actually now bets out the big guns of $400. The small blind folds, and now, of course, I have an open ender and 6 high, so I'm just going to go ahead and jam and go all in and see what the river is. Joking. No, of course not. I'm not going to call. I go ahead and fold, and also the undergun folds as well, and the button takes down the pot. The very next hand, we pick up 5-6 of diamonds on the small blind. There's 2 limps, and it comes back to me, and I feel this is a good time to take down the dead money, so I go ahead and raise to $60. The big blind, the straddler fold, and now the 2 limpers decide to call. With $190 in the pot, the flop is deuce 4-6 rainbow. This flop is great because I do hit my top pair, so I go ahead and bet out $125. The mid position player folds, and now the cutoff raises to $300. This is the same guy in the last hand that bet out $400 on the turn to take down the pot. I felt that that was a bit of an overbet. Maybe he was trying to muscle and try to take down the pot. So he does cover me, and it's back to me. Now I'm thinking, if he had hit a set, why is he raising now? Why is he just not flatting to like basically suck me in? So with that thought process, I'm thinking either he has a mid pair or he's on some kind of draw. And again, he's probably trying to muscle me out of the pot. Well, I wasn't going to back down, and I can't be scared of monsters under the bed. So you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I go all in. Luckily, he doesn't snap call, which makes me feel more confident that he's probably trying to muscle me out of the pot, and on top of that, he probably has a small holding of a pair of 4s or a pair of deuces with a draw. So he finally decides to call. So he covers me, and the pot's close to around $1,500, and the dealer deals the turn, which is the 8 of hearts and ace of diamonds. both cards look scary to me because of the fact that 5-7 gets there, and on top of that, if he was holding a small pair, he could have been holding maybe ace deuce, ace four, or ace five. So he might have made a two pair. So I show my cards, and we are good. And now I feel invigorated because of the fact that the rest of the table knows that I can make calls like this, and I'm not here to mess around.
In this hand, we're playing 5, 5, 10, 20. We pick up King Queen of Diamonds on the small blind. A tighter player under the gun +1 raises to $60, and the hijack and the cutoff call as well. I feel this is a good squeeze play to take down the pod, although since I said that this player was pretty tight, I just want to go ahead and call. So I decide to call, and also the straddler calls as well. The pot is $300, and the flop is 5 hearts, 6 of diamonds, and 7 hearts. It gets checked around, then the turn is the 3 of clubs. The hijack bets out $140, and then everybody folds. Nothing really happens in this pot, but just wanted to show the King Queen of Diamonds because it's a pretty hand. I now pick up Ace 8 of Spades on the hijack. There are 2 limps to us, so I go ahead and raise it up to $50. The limpers call, and the pot is now $170, and the flop is freaking awesome. It's 10-7 deuce, all spades. We have hit the nutter butter. Gets checked to me, and I go ahead and bet out $40 trying to get a crying call. Luckily, the undergun player calls, and with the pot $250, we are hoping the turn is not a spade and also not a high card, which would slow down the action. The turn is a deuce. It's a pretty good card. So now the undergun checks again to me, and I'm not too worried about the board pairing because, of course, I need to be cautious as well if he does decide to check raise me. I size up to $120. And looking back at the footage, once I do make that bet, he instantly calls me. So that tells me that I did miss out on some extra value. Now the pot is $490 and the river is a 5, which is a complete brick. He checks to me again, and now I bet out $325. Again, instantly he calls, so we show our hand and we're obviously good. We take down a good sizable pot. The next hand we pick up is Ace Deuce of Spades on our $10 straddle. It folds all the way around to the small blind, who raises to $25. This player was playing a little bit unorthodox, that his range was basically everywhere. So now the big blind calls, and I go ahead and defend my straddle. The pot is $70 and the flop is Ace 8 9. The small blind bets out $35, and now the big blind quickly calls. The small blind has about $300 behind him, and the big blind has a lot more. So I feel that I want to go ahead and isolate just in case the big blind is on a draw. Also, as mentioned, he played a little different, so he could be holding a pair of deuces or something strange. So I go ahead and raise to $200. And now the small blind goes all in for $300, which came to me as a little surprise because now it seems like he must have something stronger. The big blind gets out of the way, and I go ahead and call for a little bit more. We go to a run out of a 6 of clubs and a queen. The player shows pair of jacks, and I win. Didn't expect the small blind to have that kind of hand, but hey, I'll take it. The momentum of great hands do not stop when we get ace jack of spades on the small blind. The mid position raises to $55 with 250 behind. It's a fairly big raise for this particular game. And with that said, this player has been on tilt as well. 2 hands ago, he lost a hand which was set over set. So with that assessment, I go ahead and isolate to get heads up, and I 3-bet it to $155. The action goes back to him, and he surprisingly just calls. At this point, I feel that whatever the flop comes, I'm pretty much committed to the pot, and I'm going to go all in. With the pot of $330, the flop is deuce 5-10 rainbow with 1 spade. As mentioned, I'm just going to go all in, which I do, and the player luckily calls. The dealer deals out the 9 and the queen on the river. I announce ace high, and I take down the pot. Okay, so this is a fun one. Again, the deck has been really good to me tonight, and I pick up pocket queens in the mid position. There are 2 limps to me, and I go ahead and raise it to $80. Only the button calls at this point. Bud has been splashing around a lot today, so he's very loose and he's a very interesting player. So it's heads up with $190 in the pot. The flop is King 8 9. So there's one card over my pair, so I go ahead and go into check mode call now. So the player is very liable to bluff. So I just want to go ahead and see where he's at. As predicted, the player does bet out $100 in with 350 behind. I go ahead and make the call. Hoping he slows down on the turn is a 6. And the only hand that I feel that gets there is 7-10, which is very much possible for this type of player. So I go ahead and check, and the player decides to go all in. Obviously, I did not expect this at all. The only thing I'm thinking is that, yes, he could have 7-10, or maybe possibly 5-7 or 7-9 to represent one pair with a draw, or just a pair of eights. So I'm really confused of what this player has, and I just go with my gut instincts and make that call. I close my eyes, and I'm hopefully not burning money away, but I go ahead and close my eyes and call, and the river is a freaking queen. And now at this point, I think I know I'm good, and I show my hand, and sure enough, I am, because the fact that the player shows King 8 for top 2. So I'm getting extremely lucky tonight. We change seats to get better footage for the vlog. I get Ace Jack offsuit under the gun, and I go ahead and raise it to $25. It goes around to the button, who also calls, and then there's a player who had missed his blinds that bought the button and made a min raise of $50. I didn't know much about the player and didn't think much about the raise as well, so I go ahead and make the call to see how the flop develops. The button also calls the min raise. With $150 in the pot, the flop is 8-9 jack with 2 diamonds. The small blind leads out for $40. I flopped top pair, and I felt the bet was a little bit too weak because it was a draw heavy board. If I had a hand in his position, I would bet out much larger to deny equity for others to draw, and to call, that is. So I go ahead and raise it to $120. Luckily, the button folds, and the small blind tank calls. I have to pause here for a little bit, only because I love live poker. I felt the player was not confident about his hand and grudgingly makes that call. But the player showed signs of folding and also seemed very frustrated with that action. So I feel in live poker, picking up these tells really help make decisions much easier. He painfully makes that call, and now the pot is $390. The turn is a 7. Now, there's a one-liner to a straight. We go ahead and both check. The river is now a 10. He quickly checks again, and I'm thinking this is literally the worst card to come out because now we are facing a chop. Now, I'm not happy with the chop, and again, let's go back to the flop action where I went ahead and raised him, and how he felt very uncomfortable with the action, and on top of that, he grudgingly makes that call. With that particular tell, I'm thinking that if I can just go ahead and make a move here of a bet that's sizable enough that it puts him in a spot and he's going to hopefully end up folding. So with that thought process, I'm going to go ahead and bet out. And I go ahead and bet out for $260. Now, the action's back to him, and he's tanking. And now he's just staring at the board, staring at me, staring at what to do, and staring at his cards. And I'm just like hoping and praying that he just makes that fold. Another minute goes by, and then he decides to fold. Let's go, baby. We end up taking down the pot and not chopping, which is the greatest feeling. And then again, having that read on him made a big difference on making that play. And this is why I love live poker. So at this particular point, I'm a little bit hungry and decide to take a little break and go eat. Hey everyone, so session at Gardens went pretty well. I was in for 800, out for 36.85. I went to go eat, and unfortunately they picked up my chips, so I was taking too long. So I was pretty much done after that anyway, so it's okay. Session went well overall. Pretty good win for me, and I felt that my live read on the ace jack was pretty cool in a sense where I noticed that the player was uncomfortable with the situation and took advantage of the situation and took down a pot that was most likely chopped. So happy about that. But yeah, again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you like this video and help me grow. I appreciate it. Doshi out.